Hey guys, welcome to another video. So in today's video we're going to be talking a bit about drawing portraits with colored pencils. So let's dive into the important things straight away. I'm going to share with you some honest things you should know about drawing portraits and using the colored pencils in general. Now you probably expect to hear some very technical things, use this color, don't use these ones, but in order for us to speak about this, you need to hear something else first. I know there is a lot of videos out there explaining how to get good skin tones and all, and I watched them when I first started with drawing portraits with colored pencils, and I cannot say that they're not helpful. Of course they are. There are people explaining how they got certain shades, but in the end you have to know that this is their way of getting certain skin tone, and it doesn't necessarily mean that it is going to be yours as well, because your style might be completely different. You might choose a complete different reference photo. Your colors might be different than theirs. Your process of layering the colors might be different than theirs. There's just so many factors included in this. If I tell you to use, for example, 5, 6 or 10 colored pencils for the skin, and you do a certain portrait with it, and then you decided to do another portrait, and this particular portrait contains completely different colors, you might get confused with the colors. So, googling the skin tones right after you get the pencils and you want to start drawing your first portrait shouldn't be the first thing you do. There are so many more steps before this one. So the first thing that I would like to tell you is that there are no skin tone color chart that you can just find and implement in all of your drawing. Each and every skin tone has its own colors, and the way how you build certain shade can also be so different than anything you ever drawn before. So for every skin tone, you would have to use the different colors, different layering, different blending, and different burnishing. Now I know this could be scary, but this is also something that makes the colored pencils unique, and you should look forward to experimenting with different tones, different colors, and everything else that you can try out so you can get some really nice results. So when I say different layering, burnishing, shading, and blending, this is another very important thing. Usually people ask me which colors I use for certain drawings, and of course that's something you should know as well. It will make your process a bit easier. But more important question is that how to use the colored pencils. One specific thing about them, and I think the most important one, is the pencil pressure. Depending on the pencil pressure, you're getting certain values, and this is much more important than choosing the right colored pencils for you. You can get the same value with different tones, for example, if you know how to layer and combine your colored pencils in a good way. So another very important thing that you need to do is start practicing with your colors. You can take a blank piece of paper and just start combining the colors in between. You need to go through certain practices, because I can share with you the colors I used for this portrait, for example, but you don't know the exact process of layering the colors and how much I pressed my colors for each and every layer, and this might lead you to completely different results. It's like if you decided to work with paints, you need to learn how to mix the colors, and by dosing each and every color you're getting different tones and values. And this is no different, just in a pencil shape. You need to dose your pencil pressure so you could get different tones and values. Depending on the pencil pressure, you can get various results. So practicing how to blend the colors and combine them in between is something so important, and this is something that nobody can actually show you. This is something that you need to go through this by yourself and to experiment by yourself. Start your practice by layering the color from the lightest to the darkest, and then take another color and combine it in between. There could be so many different outcomes, and as I already said, nobody can actually teach you this. You really need to go through something like this by yourself. You need to experience it. You just have to go through some very basic things first. Getting to know the medium is something very important, because we could all have the best colored pencils in the world, but that is not enough. By practicing, you will be able to advance so much more with your skills. And this is something that you need to practice, because I know this feeling. As soon as you purchase your first set, you think that since you have the proper material, you can just create something breathtaking. And then your drawing turns out to be very unsatisfied. I remember my first portrait. I had no idea about the layering and burnishing, combining, nothing. And my first portrait was just horrible. But then I started like practicing and experimenting with different colors, different combinations. And you need to practice to be patient, of course. We live in a world where everything is instant. Instant coffees, instant food, instant internet, instant bills paying. Everything is pretty much so instant, and by leading this life every day, you forget about the patience in life. And this is no different. We want instant results, so we don't want to waste our time just by practicing. We just want to get something very fast and very good. Nowadays, generations are becoming more and more impatient, and I believe this is something that if you want to achieve something with your art, you shouldn't let this happen to you, or to achieve anything, of course. This is why I love colored pencils. It brings you back to basically learning how to be patient again, and it separates you from an instant world. So this is something you should really think about, accept and use it to your advantage. Learn how to be patient, don't look for instant things, and separate yourself from getting instant results. Only like this you will be able to grow as an artist and develop your skills. Nobody said it would be very easy, but it's so worth it. Being curious about this medium can only bring you so many different things, good ones of course, so constantly experimenting with it could lead you to a completely different outcome. I'm still curious about colored pencils, and even now, whenever I have some free time, I just sit and I combine the colors. I'm testing them out, testing different values, testing how the colors are combining with one another, testing how the oil-based colors are combining with the wax-based colors, testing on different papers. You just have to do this if you want to progress. Changing your mindset about this medium is crucial, avoiding ideas about getting instant results, arming yourself with curiosity and patience, and practicing whenever you get the chance. And another very important thing is having a color chart. Now, this is so important. This is something that can really help you and make your life so much easier. Whenever I get some pencil sets, the first thing I do is I create a color chart. I know, again, this could be something that wouldn't even cross your mind because you can see the tone of the color of the pencil itself, but that color of the pencil can be something very different than the actual pigment that's inside. Then you start with your shading and blending and take the pencil you believe it would suit you the best based on the color of the pencil, and then you realize how different the color is. So, in order to avoid this, you really need to create a color chart so you would be able to choose your pencils more wisely. Another thing that color charts might help you out is that you can compare the colors with your reference photo much easier and create some sort of plan before you start off with coloring. I always spend 10 to 15 minutes just observing the reference. I take the color chart and I chose the color that I think that are just like the most suitable ones. And of course, while drawing, if you see that you might have missed certain colors, you can always go back to your color chart and choose some extra colors. But it's so important to make a plan and study the colors before you actually start to layer the colors. You need to create a certain pattern and a ritual for each and every drawing. It's like washing your hands before eating. Like when we were little, our parents kept reminding us to wash our hands before eating. Now, when you're more mature and after repeating the same pattern for so long, you don't even think about it, the ritual is there. You go and you do it by default, not even thinking about it. This should be the same. Since you're a beginner, you need to remind yourself to observe the reference, create a color chart, compare the colors, and choose certain colors based on your color chart by comparing it with the reference photo. This pattern will soon be embedded in your brain and you will create a very useful routine that can only help you out so much. And I know doing this can be maybe less fun in the beginning because of the whole insecurities, whether you're going to choose the right tones, if you're on the right path with your colors, how it will turn out. There's just too many questions in your head before you actually start. But consider this as something very normal because each and every new drawing is a new challenge, and having those thoughts and questions is something completely normal. People usually stress about it so much, but it's like that small worries every time, for example, when you cook something. Are you gonna burn it or not? Is it gonna be tasty or not? And each and every time you cook something, you're cooking it a bit differently, of course. Like you cannot create the same meal twice. Like, it's always gonna be slightly different. So having those questions is completely normal. You didn't give up from eating and cooking because you don't know the final outcome, or because you have those small questions in the back of your mind, if you're going to burn it or not, or is it going to be delicious in the end. This is the same process. You are creating something new. Nobody knows how it will turn out in the end, and that's the beauty of it. Those questions should be completely normal, and that kind of insecurity, like in the beginning, should be completely normal. And this is not supposed to be something that could scare you or drive you away from your drawing practice. I believe that drawing is much more than just drawing. People who don't draw think that drawing is easy and being an artist is just so fun and easy as well. And that's okay. They never went through the path that you're going through at the moment. Drawing is so much more than just picking your pencils. It defines you as who you are in the end. It builds you up as a human being. So allow yourself to grow, progress in so many ways, and allow yourself to learn many more things that will serve you in your life as well, not just your art journey. This is something that I will speak about more in one of my future videos, but I just wanted to touch this topic a bit as well in this video because it's also something we artists should know and think about and accept it in the end, of course. So start working on your mindset. Try to approach to each and every drawing challenge in a different way. And this will all make you grow so much more. Now, these are all things you should really know once you decide to start your journey as a colored pencil artist. And it doesn't matter if you're drawing portraits, landscapes, still life, you should have the same approach. Now, maybe you will need to listen to this video a couple of times more, because this is something that can really help you out in changing the way how you look at what you do at the moment. And if you truly honestly want to grow, you will try changing things. Let me know after a while how do you feel once you change certain things, and if you're ready to even listen to some of my advices. You have this drawing as a real-time step-by-step drawing tutorial on my Patreon page where I'm explaining every step of the way. So make sure to check out my Patreon page if you would like to draw with me. I'm uploading there new tutorials, loads of new tutorials every month. So if you decide to join, you will get an instant access to all of my already uploaded real-time step-by-step drawing tutorials and all the upcoming ones. Also, make sure to subscribe and like this video and leave some kind comment. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I see you in another one. Bye guys!